Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Burst in the building. Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, on deck. What's good, my brother? Salute to Mr. aka Hot Grease, aka Mr. Sucker Free, in the building. WCS, big brother, salute to you. Shout out to Jamal Neezy on deck. Salute WCS, salute to the chat. What's good with you, brother? How everything been with you, Neezy? One more day to collect my quarters. Well, whoever that may be, you know what I'm saying? Then I hope they have your funds. I don't foresee that being me. WCS is back on the boulevard once again with a topic that may not, interest the masses, but I think for me it does, because it just goes to show you that there's certain real world events that's affecting sports in general, like it always been. It's always been something like this that affects sports, man. Just like them banning the Russian track team for doping. I mean, this ain't the first time, but just so happened when it deals with boxing, we're talking about several premier fighters that's potentially being affected from adding another chapter to their legacy. That's when we come into play. We come into play to speak on Dmitry Bivol. He's pretty much in the middle of a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to get down to it. Dmitry Bivol is 21-0, 11 knockouts. He made his debut as a professional in 2014. You know what I'm saying? November 28, 2014. Right? He fought a 6th rounder in his way, to kick down the door. And up to this point, he had I think 8 or 9 title defenses, which is pretty commendable. He has some good names, solid names on there, John Pascal, Joe Smith Jr., so forth. Gilberto Ramirez, Saul, Canelo Alvarez. He's had his share of defenses. So with that said, Dmitry Bivol is 32 years of age, a Russian fighter. He's not over there fighting and taking lives of the Ukrainians. He's not over there exchanging warfare. You know what I'm saying? He's not participating, but his country is. And the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, he's taken a stance that the WBC would not be sanctioning Russian fighters. They won't do it until this is resolved. You know what I'm talking about? So that goes for Artur Beterbiev. This is a legacy fight, undisputed at 175 pounds, and it's not happening. It's not happening, right? And you can say, well, Beterbiev has the WBC titles. He's the unified champion up there, 175. And then you go over here to Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's undisputed. He's not Russian. He's Mexican, right? But the WBC would not sanction Dmitry Bivol, who's a Russian fighter. You know what I'm saying? His residence in Canada. Mauricio said, I will not sanction this fight at 168. Because Dmitry Bivol, from my understanding, wanted to take the elevator down the floor and compete for Canelo's super middleweight world titles for undisputed. Now, people, they soon forget that Dmitry Bivol was once at 68 now. You know what I'm saying? He was once at 68. When that was, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He might have walked into the room at one point in time and say, oh, that's how 68 looks. I'll come back here later. You know, when it gets a little bit more active. You know what I'm saying? Dmitry Bivol dipped his head in 68. I'm just going to stay at 175. You know, I'm just going to, put in my work at 175. And those of us like myself who've seen the work that he put in against Canelo, how smart of a fighter he was. Once he was able to basically earn that respect from Canelo, it was times where Canelo was up against the ropes. Instead of Bivol just basically kicking down the door and dropping hammers on Canelo because he felt that he had him cornered, he was very meticulous in his attack. You know, he landed the combinations just right at distance, not to put himself in jeopardy of being countered. He is legitimate. He's official. He's certified. He has Canelo Alvarez on his resume. You know what I'm saying? May of last year, he has Canelo Alvarez on his resume as a win, a 12-round unanimous decision for his WBA Super World Light Heavyweight title, y'all. Salute to Dmitry Bivol. But we're going to get right back to it. Let me get to the chat just a minute. It's Friday. Big Bunch and Boxing on deck. What it do? Bivol would have to request for an exemption, but he ain't getting a fight. Canelo going to fight Belanga, then go fight Badu Jack. That is the protocol for them. I haven't even got to that yet. Of course, they can request for exemption, but Mauricio Suleiman is, he's going to have influence over that too. Yeah, they may put it as a protocol, but really isn't a protocol. It's not something that you can just submit in good faith, and they're going to look at it with non-bias. It's not going to be approved. It's not going to be approved. You know what I'm saying? So Bivol can do what he like. He can submit it if he want to. It's not going to get approved. It's not going to get approved at all. So, Ampo, that what's good, W says. Don't get to see your lives awesome, but always catching the playbacks. Hot grease all day. Appreciate AMP in the building. Appreciate you. Salute. Happy Friday to everyone that's in the chat. So Dmitry Bivol, right? This fight with Canelo Alvarez is a situation where Canelo's first loss, he didn't have the opportunity to run it back with Floyd Mayweather, right? So we know that throughout the years, he continued to elevate, and, just excel in his career. And for a long time, Floyd Mayweather was a long-standing fighter that Canelo lost to. You know what I'm saying? He had that one long loss, but he'll never get it back. So in the process of him challenging himself and continue to excel in his career, he decided to return back up to 175, and this time not fight an old, decrepit, antiquated fighter. He fought a fighter that was fairly, in his prime, in Dmitry Bivol. You know what I'm saying? So the fight turned out differently than what a lot of people thought. We knew it was going to be a tough challenge for him, but the performance value was, you give it a high grade with both fighters. It was a very good 12-round affair at 175 pounds for the WBA title. It was very competitive, but we can all attest that Dmitry Bivol did enough to put away rounds and comfortably cushion himself to get a decision. Now, that doesn't mean they wasn't trying to screw the man over with a Phillips head. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean, because they definitely was trying to screw him over. If you looked on the scorecards, clearly they had gave Canelo Alvarez some early rounds that he just didn't win, people. But justice prevailed, if it's any, in boxing. Dmitry Bivol was able to win and get one of the biggest names in his entire boxing career on his resume. That's Canelo Alvarez. He didn't get him undefeated. But that's still one of the biggest names of this era, the cash cow, the Don Dada, Canelo Alvarez. Dmitry Bivol was able to get him in the win column. But now we get to another chapter. Dmitry Bivol wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds because he believes that, of course, he can, he can put his stamp on down there too, but for much more hardware. This for all the crowns. This is him at 32 years old saying, you know what, I think I do very well at 68, even though I don't want to go down and drop the weight and be and contend in that weight class. I'm gonna attempt to do it for legacy. Most greats have losses on their record. Dmitry Bivol's mindset is like, let me go down here and challenge myself. It's gonna suck losing that weight, but we all know how that go. You know what I'm saying? Challenges is there for everyone who chooses to be great. Some accomplish it and some don't. But in this particular case, supposedly, Canelo wanted to fight at 175. Supposedly. And then you hear Canelo wanted at 168. You know what I'm saying? For Bivol, he said, I already beat you in my weight class. And I don't see you beat me in the rematch at my weight class. I feel strong at that weight. And for what you presented to me, let's just say Canelo left hand was hurt. He did have surgery or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I really don't want to go through the extreme on pulling out the excuse ruler and saying that, Canelo, he could have performed better because if his left hand wasn't hurting. But then I think about Tank Davis, and then I say, well, they didn't really give Tank Davis credit for beating Isaac Cruz. Even though he beat him, he didn't knock him out. They said, oh, man, don't bring the left hand in there. Of course, I'm not going to do it for Canelo either, because Canelo was like, oh, the left hand. Fighters get injured. He did have surgery, and he came back, and he went in there life and limb with the fight of uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? The boxing match of who's the better uppercut fighter. You know what I'm saying? Who holds the crown for the uppercut? You know what I'm saying? Bragging rights. So he went in there with a fight in John Ryder, who people was looking at like, well, this fighter is not anybody special. You know what I'm saying? The gorilla. I go back to the flyer when he fought Daniel Jacobs, and the only one that it seemed like on the poster that looked like a gorilla, they tried to make it look like a gorilla, was Daniel Jacobs. But anyway, staying on topic, Mauricio Sulaiman has absolutely inserted his stance to say, I'm not sanctioning any Russian fighter, regardless if they over here. I'm not doing it. There's an ongoing war. There's mass casualties. I'm not sanctioning any fight, whereas Artur Beterbiev, undisputed at 175, or Canelo Alvarez, due to Dmitry Bivol being Russian. It's crazy, huh? I mean, these are innocent boxers at the end of the day. They're not over there in uniform. You know what I'm saying? They're not over there in uniform. It's no video of them rounds down range. It's no evidence of them on the battlefield, taking lives for their country. But politics has always been in boxing. We go back to the great Muhammad Ali. on why he was stripped of his title and why he was incarcerated. Muhammad Ali said, they didn't do anything to me. Why am I go over there and mess with them for? I got a war right here in my own country. You know what I'm saying? The fight is against them. They didn't do anything to me over there. You want me to go fight your war? It's not gonna happen. So Ali, you know, though he was, you know, excoriated back then for not serving, and if that would have been today, people would have looked at you like, oh my God, you's a traitor. You a traitor. Oh my God. You a conscientious objector. It's severe punishment for that. But the wild part about it, we saw Usyk and Lomachenko get called to so-called duty, But we didn't see Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev get summons by Russia, by Vladimir Putin. You know what I'm saying? So boxing is always going to have its share of political events that affect the sport. You feel me? That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, man. What's going on? Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute my brothers, Scotty Preach. What's good with it, Bruce? How you doing, OG? Happy weekend once again to everybody that's in the chat. This to me is very interesting. Real talk, like, you know, it's very interesting how, you know, you can travel the world and you see in certain countries intermingling or, you know, taking up residence in places that you didn't think. Like the time I went over there to South Korea, and all the Russians that I seen over there, you know, especially their women. And I said, wow, those are Russian women. You know, I'm just everywhere, every place I went, I explored. You know what I'm saying? I went into the alleyways. I tried to find out what you know, what was different. You know what I'm saying? I got stories forever. I just wish I was able to record it. But I remember running to the most Russians that I ever dealt with in South Korea. Real talk, in South Korea. And you know, there's some different people outside of boxing. You know, according to what Russian you run into, those some different type people. And they came over here, they'll probably say the same thing about Americans. They some different type people. They, you know, their culture is different, quite different than what we have going on over in Russia. Of course, it's just like when I was in Korea, and I basically went on a walk. And I seen some South Koreans doing morning PT, but it was more so their army, their patrol, and they was basically doing hand-to-hand practice. They was remediating self-defense tactics on one another. They didn't have no pads, no nothing. So when they was kicking each other in the thigh down to the lower calf, they didn't have no pads on. It was just like you get dressed up and you go to work, and this is what you're going to work out in. So they was in their uniform and they was practicing. You know what I'm saying? First, they start off with hand strikes, blocks. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't any head movement. It was just straight, you know, strike to strike. You know, one person is a striker, the other one is a defender. And this is pretty much called body hardening too. So when it came to the kicks, I remember seeing them kicking each other with no shin guards. Know that. It was just body hardening. That's body hardening, bone to bone body hardening. And I remember seeing this one Korean, I guess he was doing the technique incorrectly, and whoever the Korean that was in charge, I mean, corrected him physically. I mean, I'm talking about corrected him physically. Like he got popped in the face physically. So I was like, man, these mothers don't play. And then, you know, I started to see more and more get corrected. And it wasn't no freaking soft touch correction like over here in the US of A. I mean, they was South Koreans, they was on a whole nother level of, you know what I'm saying? I think these guys was also with the QRT. too. Yeah, these was the QRT members. None of this coming back to me. The QRT members were the quick reaction team. I heard that they was up the way from where we was at that time. The Marines was at for deployment. I heard, they did have a QRT unit training that was there, and the unit itself. And these guys supposed to get ready for action in under a minute or something like that. When they call, the quick reaction team supposed to be able to get everything ready, full blown battle attire, and ready to fight in under a minute. So yeah, they was out there training, and they was training intensively. But anyway, all I was saying is, when it comes down to Russia and what's going on over there, some of them guys didn't have a choice. Like back in the day over here in the US, we had the draft going on. We had people being drafted because of their age. They didn't want to go to war. They didn't want to go fight Vietnam War, but they had to. With the Russians, I'm surprised that, the effect wasn't as if so-called Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Or Pedraza. Pedraza said he was going over there. I never heard anything else about that. But let's not get it twisted. I'm not trying to bring up no wartime to diminish what Usyk and what they wanted to portray it in the media. They wasn't on the front lines, y'all. They're high celebrity names, but Usyk and freaking Vasil Lomachenko, yeah, they took a picture with a uniform on that was cleaning on no way, and he supposedly had a weapon over strapped over his right shoulder. They wasn't on the front line doing anything. From what I heard, they was inside the wire, and they was on the security detail. Which, man, come on, they didn't go over there and fight nothing. They didn't go over there and fight. I remember people being in my chat, and they was trying to tell me that I wasn't being patriotic. So now as a veteran in the US, I have to be patriotic to other people outside of the US when I actually fought for my own country. You know what I'm saying? I actually fought for my own country. I went outside the wire. I have pictures to prove I went outside the wire. My life was in danger too. No matter what was trying to be said, oh, he lost his battle buddies. He was a phobic. Make up your mind. Either I got PTSD or I don't. If I was inside the wire and never experienced it, that doesn't mean anything, because you ain't making no sense. But, experiencing the call up with Lomachenko and Usyk, I was curious to know if the Ukrainian president, was going to allow them to fight, because they're big name, they're household names in boxing. So for a minute, they was over there, and they made it seem like they wasn't coming home for a minute. But then pictures start to surface. They got shades on, and they look like they over there on vacation. And then, Lomachenko showed that he was back in the US. This man had like 8 suitcases, bro. What were you doing? But anyway, that's not the point I was trying to make. I was just trying to, kind of give you an idea of why Mauricio Suleiman is not refusing to sign off on Russian fighters fighting for the WBC belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, if you really want to make a statement, Mauricio Suleiman, if you had a problem with the Russian fighters, you would have came up here and just said, you know what? I want to petition something for them to be stripped. Then you really would have caused the uproar. If you don't want you feel some type of way about the Russian fighters, all of a sudden, innocent bystanders holding your title. It's okay for them to hold your title and pay sanctioning fees, right? But it's not okay for them to fight for undisputed. It's bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's bullshit, because if they fight anybody else, let's just say Artur Beterbiev have another fight coming up, is he going to pay WBC sanction fees? Come on, bro. Why do they have to petition? Why do they have to petition? Do they have to petition for sanctioning fees? So why would you have to petition just because he want to make it seem like, well, I want to protect Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I want to protect Canelo or whatever he's trying to do. I want to make it seem like it's a political decision of mine. But yet, these fighters, if they fight that holds the WBC title, ask Canelo, right? Ask Canelo, does he care? He wants to fight Dmitry Bivol. He doesn't care if Dmitry Bivol is a freaking Russian fighter or not. Ask him, do he care? Because he's one of the few that's not Russian. He's a Mexican fighter holding the WBC belt. But since Dmitry Bivol is an opponent that's on Canelo's challenge list that he wants to step in the ring with next, they're holding Dmitry Bivol culpable just because he's a Russian-born fighter. You know what I'm saying? But Artur Beterbiev, is he gonna have to pay sanctioning fees? Because if Beterbiev is paying sanctioning fees, why in the hell you ain't, you know what I'm saying, strip him of the belt or something? Like request for, oh, it'd be no Russian fighters holding the WBC title. You know what I'm saying? No, not at all. We're gonna put them in recess for the WBC and all this other shit. I mean, if you really don't want them holding your title because you want to make it about politics, don't allow them to defend it then. If you really want to cause an outcry within the boxing community, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. Don't half step it. You trying to make it seem like it's all about your political message. Don't half step. Canelo's not Russian. Let Bivol fight for the title. Look, Bivol is no different than Artur Beterbiev at 175. Beterbiev is currently a WBC champion, right? So why is it so difficult for Canelo to come down here and fight? Dmitry Bivol to come down here to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez to hold the WBC belt as Artur Beterbiev is doing at 175. Tell me, what is the difference? You already have one Russian fighter that's the WBC world champion, but yet you're denying Bivol bilaterally to go down a division and fight for the WBC, and you're denying him to fight another Russian fighter at 175 in his own weight class. It's asinine, man. Stupid. Sir Foul Play on deck, man. What's good? Good morning, WCS in chat. Good morning to you, brother. It's stupid. It don't make any sense, man. It's stupid. Seriously, I don't get, how it makes any sense between, as Bivol being the wedge that's in between two legacy fights for him, one in his own division and one a step down. Either way it goes, he's the WBA title holder, dog. It doesn't make any sense, man. You don't want to sanction it. They got to put a petition in. It don't make any sense at the end of the day. You're not proving nothing. If you are going to say, well, I don't want them doing this because of the WBC title. Well, when they fight, are you going to allow them to say, you know what, since I'm not, I'm preventing you from having an undisputed title fight, you don't have to pay me sanctioning fees in your next fight. As long as this restriction is active, you don't have to pay me sanction fees. If Mauricio was to put it out there like that, I would respect him more. You feel me? I would respect this man more. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that topic because, like I said, you have to make it make sense, man. You know what I'm saying? Like two Russian fighters can't fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Two Russian fighters can't fight each other, but yet Canelo isn't Russian. And you want to allow Bivol to go down there, who is currently not the WBC titleist, but yet you do have a Russian that is. It makes no sense, man. It's just petty at the end of the day. It's very petty. You're trying to make a statement because you have friends over the Ukraine and you know what I'm saying? You feel like you're taking political stance. That's crazy. But moving on, I'll have to move on past that. This weekend is fight weekend. You know what I'm saying? I put the link out there for anybody who has anything to say on the topic or what's going on this weekend with Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Devin Haney, current reigning defendant, undisputed titleist, has a challenge on his hand, as to Vasyl Lomachenko. When it comes down to me, the way I look at the landscape, Gervonta Davis is definitely out there. I'm hearing that they supposed to be ordering Gervonta to fight the winner. Cool. I mean, either way, the best fighting the best is cool. You know what I'm saying? If they can make it happen, if both fighters are willing to negotiate and fair standing when it comes to the monetary purses, because you're not gonna, in my opinion, neither one of these fighters that's fighting this weekend is not going to go anywhere if they're the winner to try to go over there to Gervonta Davis in negotiations and say, well, I may not be the A side, but I'm going to get A side money. You know what I'm saying? I may not be the A side, but I'm A side money. Guarantee you that. The fight's not going to happen. The fight's not going to happen.
What's up, big brother? I just want to let you know I ain't ducking the smoke. I ain't ducking the smoke.
It seemed like you driving away though. Would you headed to Dubai or something to hide out for a month or two? You head over to Dubai. You driving to Dubai?
Hey, you see what I'm saying, man? You being petty, WC.
I'm just looking out the window. It looked like you over there in Dubai. You getting far away from this place as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I just wanted to tap in and let you know I ain't ducking the smoke. I'm going through Cleveland, Ohio right now, and I might have to go and shoot straight down 75 so I can go collect my money on tomorrow night. You know what I mean?
Okay, I feel you. So I know you said you was going for Lomachenko. Give your take there, Gumbo, on why you picking Lomachenko and why you think he has success against Haney.
Because Haney's making excuses. All of a sudden, nobody never said Lomachenko was a dirty fighter, right? Now all of a sudden, Lomachenko's a dirty fighter. I think Devin don't want Lomachenko to fight on the inside. And I see Lomachenko taking away that jab. I don't know why people don't realize. To me, Devin is just a 1-2 fighter, jab, 1-2, 1-2. That ain't gonna work against Lomachenko, man. So I see Lomachenko getting mid-range on the inside, and I just see him outboxing Devin Haney. I know Devin.
Okay.
See, just like when people say there's levels to this, I just never seen nobody get Devin and made him go to another level. I can't give Cambosis. Cambosis is a C+ fighter. Lomachenko not a C+ fighter. So when Lomachenko, and that's how I'm looking at the fight play out, W said. When Lomachenko, like when he fought Tio, and everybody talking about, oh, he could do this with Tio, but Loma was scared of Tio's power. Devin don't have Tio's power. When Loma gonna start stepping up the pace like he did with Tio, and start, which he started late with Tio because Tio could stop him with either hand. When Loma gonna start stepping up the pace, my thing, Devin keep up with the pace and take it to another level. We ain't never seen Devin Devin go to another level ever. Against who?
Well,
So I
he
got
had.
Lomachenko.
I think he did go to another level with Jorge Linares there, Gumbo. I did think he fought a different fight against Jorge Linares on the inside. You know what I'm saying? On the inside. I really think he fought a different fight against Jorge Linares. He did fairly well up until the point in the 10th round where he got caught.
Okay, if he get caught by Lomachenko ain't Linares. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Linares did sit Lomachenko down in his freaking high chair. He sat him on his ass, there, Gumbo.
Okay.
He sat him on his ass. Let's not
Okay.
forget that. But Lomachenko did get up. He did get up and stop him. But I'm just saying, let's not forget he sat Lomachenko on his ass now.
Yes, he did. And what happened after that? Like Crawford said,
I don't know, man. I didn't hear the stabbing. I didn't hear it like that though. You know, I mean, yeah, he hit him to the body. He stopped him. You know what I'm saying? He stopped him.
Listen, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, for sure.
And guess what? They gonna be nice the first couple of rounds. They gonna be looking nice, but and they both have good stamina. But I think Loma, he got the experience, and when they gonna start stepping up the pace, my whole thing is I have Loma winning. Can Devin keep up? And that's the question. We're gonna have to see tomorrow night. Can he keep up when they start going at a different level?
You have to understand. He did go the distance with Richard Comey until stopped that man in 2 rounds. Lomachenko went the distance, and you know Richard Comey and Devin Haney got 2 different styles now.
Okay. Did he sit Comey down though?
Yeah, he did. You know, but that's not the first time Comey's been on the canvas though. But he did.
Okay.
He did.
Man, y'all.
So what you think? You think he gonna do that to Devin? You think he gonna do that to Devin though?
I think he gonna sit Devin down one time.
Okay.
I ain't betting on it, but
right.
I think he's gonna sit Devin down one time. That's why Devin's saying he's a dirty fighter. I mean, when they say break, and break don't mean stop punching. Stop means stop punching. Break don't mean stop punching. So how is that dirty?
Just like Egan said, protect yourself. He said, protect yourself on the break. Protect yourself.
And that makes sense. Because that sounds like somebody gonna be trying to hold, and he ain't gonna want to be taking no shot. But if you hold me, Loma, keep punching, Loma, keep punching. The referee gonna have to stop him. I got Loma winning 7-5 on the scorecard. That's my prediction.
Okay, I mean, I can't go against that. I don't know how the scorecard's gonna look because
Loma
they're on the same promotion.
Hey, I got an inside. Loma already up two rounds to 0. So okay.
Yeah, they might give him a round per medal that he earned in the Olympics. So he might go in there 2 rounds to 0.
So all we need to do is win 5 rounds.
Yeah, just win 5 rounds if he can. But he's an older fighter though. He has tread on him. He has miles on him. You have to take that into consideration too, bro.
No, WCS. We're not using that WCS. We're not using the old card now. We're not using
we have to because if you look on BoxRec there Gumbo, on BoxRec, it says the man is 35 years old, don't it?
Okay. So now you're giving me an excuse.
I'm just saying.
But you giving me an excuse if I lose.
I'm not giving you an excuse. I'm giving you a fact that the man stayed in the Olympics, two tours in the Olympics, and had hundreds of amateur fights. and they was praising that man, but he has freaking miles on him, that Gumbo. Miles,
Okay.
396 wins, I believe, and one loss. 396 wins, almost 400 freaking amateur fights, brother. That's a lot of miles on
So,
him, bro.
hey, so WCS, I've been driving for 22, going 23 years. So that's a lot of miles, and I've been sitting on my Cash App for a lot of years. So that's a lot of miles. So if I lose, it might take a long time for it to get around the world to
Hey, I can tell you this too, Gumbo. I guarantee you haven't had the same set of tires on for 23 years. I can guarantee you that. You haven't had the same set of tires on for 23 years. Lomachenko had the same tires on, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I've been having that same Cash App card for 23 years, so it usually takes a long time to connect to whoever I'm sending it to.
Okay.
Especially
I see you making excuses already. You just talking about I was making excuses for Lomachenko and how old he was. You seeming like you about to make excuses for not paying your debt. I got it.
I'm not.
I got it. What's going on, Town Biz on deck? How you feeling, Town?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Yeah, good.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm about to head over there, man. I'm about to get prepared. I'm gonna get down there early. Try to get some footage and stuff. So, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna walk down there. I'm on the opposite end of the strip. I'm at Circus, but I'm gonna get some work in. I'm gonna walk down there, get prepared. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all can tap in. Scotty, let me talk about this fight. Devin Haney's going to win this fight, and I think he's going to win decisively. He's up for this fight. I talked to him. They prepared. They've been doing their research. They're going to win this fight decisively. Will there be a stoppage? I don't know. I think the thing with Lomachenko, I think we give him too much credit. There is a blueprint to beat Lomachenko. He can't fight going backwards. Apply pressure. Lomachenko does his best work in the middle of the ring. Devin Haney's going to use his strength, and he's going to push him back. He has a game plan, and he's not going to give away the late rounds, which happens when you fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko lost to a dude with double-digit losses. Let's not pretend that Lomachenko is unbeatable. He's already been beat. And let's not forget, Lomachenko has the rally. Lomachenko in his last few fights have failed behind, giving up the early rounds. Linares was ahead on the cards until the stoppage. Had he not got stopped, he was in a good position to win that fight. I interviewed with him yesterday. Okay? Then he got dropped. Once again, he got dropped by Linares. Now, go back to the Gary Russell Jr. fight. You can make an argument that Gary Russell Jr. dropped Lomachenko, and he didn't get credit for it. Had he got credit for the drop, he might have had a draw with Lomachenko. So let's not try to pretend like Lomachenko is just unbeatable and there's no blueprint to beat Lomachenko. He's already been beat twice. You look at his last fight with Ortiz. Once again, Ortiz controlled the first half of the fight. Had he been able to maintain the later half of the fight, he would have got a decision. So let's not make it look like Lomachenko cannot be beat. Devin Haney hasn't had an opponent where he would turn it up a notch. He's going to be motivated for this fight. He knows what's on the line, and he's not a one-dimensional fighter. So that's not accurate. Keep in mind, I guarantee you if Devin Haney fought Teofimo Lopez, he would beat Teofimo Lopez more decisively than Kambosos did, and I am going to use that theory.
I don't believe that.
I mean, you don't have to believe it. I believe it. Hold on. Let me finish, man. Let me finish.
Let him finish, Gumbo.
Yeah, don't talk over me, man. Come on, man. We men here. I'm just saying. You're gonna see a different Devin Haney tomorrow. I didn't talk to him. I didn't seen some of the stuff that they've been working on. you're going to see a different Devin Haney. He's up for this fight. He will be prepared, and he's not a one-trick pony. And to sit up there and say that he will be victorious tomorrow. And I'm telling you, when he wins tomorrow, give the man his just due. Like I said, Lomachenko is not unbeatable. I've looked at him. A lot of fights, he struggled in a lot of his fights. And you look at his past few fights, he's starting to look like he's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Keep in mind, this is a man that had over 400 amateur fights. He came into the game like at 26. But I still don't want to hear no excuses when Devin wins this fight tomorrow. You know, so
okay. Let him respond there. Town, go ahead, Blunts. I mean, not Blunts. Go ahead, Gumbo.
Hey, Tom, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tom. Much respect, big brother. When you said about Tio, I have to see that Tio. I mean, I understand Loma is getting old. When you said he'll beat Tio more decisive, I have to see that. I really have to see that. That's what I've got to say, big brother.
No, no problem. But if you look at Tio's not been looking that good in his past few fights. Ever since he went up to 140, I don't know. Maybe I know Teofimo. To be fair, I will say this with Teofimo. Teofimo has been going through a lot of personal stuff behind the scenes, which I don't want to discuss, and I'm sure World Combat knows that as well. So to be fair, Teofimo, it might be because of the stuff he's going through, outside of boxing. But Teofimo hasn't looked good in his past couple of fights neither. So I am saying that Teofimo lacks some things. He lacks things too. So I feel like this. Devin is a more skillful fighter. Now, he doesn't have – we both can admit, everybody on this panel can admit that Devin isn't a big puncher. He isn't a big puncher. I think one of the reasons is I think it might be because he hasn't moved up in weight. I think once he moves up in weight, I think you'll start seeing being able to break down more opponents and be able to get him out of here. I do think to a certain degree it might be because of the weight class he's in. I think I think he might have outgrown that weight class, but I think once he and he's fully haven't developed, he hasn't got his man strength yet. I think he needs to move up after this fight instead of waiting around to see what's going to happen with Tank and Shakur Stevenson. That's my own personal opinion. But like I said before, I think Devin would do very well against Tio. Tio makes a lot of mistakes. And Devin makes some mistakes too. I think the problem is with Devin, sometimes he gets caught up a little bit in trying to force a knockout instead of just using his natural boxing skills. I think he could have beat Jojo Diaz way more decisively than he did, and the same thing with Linares. But I think this time tomorrow, he's going to take what Lomachenko gives him, and he's going to use it to his advantage, and he's going to be victorious. So, and that's all. And that's all I'm saying. It's going to be a great fight, man. I think Lomachenko will have his moments, but I think Devin is going to prevail, and I think he will make the proper adjustments to win this fight, and I think he's going to win this fight decisively. I don't think that it's going to be a controversial win. I think Devin is going to win this fight going away. Now, will it be a 12-0 domination? No, Lomachenko will win some round, but Devin will win this fight decisively.
Anybody else want to comment on that? My thoughts are a bit different, Town. You know what I'm saying? Devin's 24 years old. So I do agree with you on one. I agree that when he moves up, I believe he's kind of struggling with this 135. He was able to reach the pot of gold, picking up the titles, but I do believe he's going to absolutely perform better and stronger at 140. As far as his grown man strength at 24, everybody's physically different at the end of the day. I don't know. And to me, I don't feel that power comes into play, just because you're going into grown man strength, moving up in weight. He might have already went through that growth spurt. Like Devin's the biggest I've seen him in between fights. Like he's actually growing into that 140-pound division in between fights. You know what I'm saying? But we haven't seen him fight at 140 with that weight. He picked up the weight and he has to take that weight back off to balance the scales at 135. So I don't agree with the Devin, looking a lot stronger. He's gonna have more power to the punch, more umph to the punch at 140. But I do feel that he's gonna be a lot stronger. Stronger meaning that he'll be able to handle his opposition a little bit more physically in the clinch. Will his punches have a little bit more mustard on it? It's possible. I don't know. Do I see him knocking more people out at 140? I have to wait to see it. You feel me? I have to wait to see it. But I do believe, when he moves up in weight, he's definitely going to look stronger. He is, because I think, the way I seen him in the rematch weigh in with Kambosos, he looked dried out. He looked like a zombie. And I hope we don't have another Shakur Stevenson today. You know what I'm saying? Because people try to put it out there that Devin was having problems dropping weight, the same choir that they have every time. But I hope, because I kind of underestimated Shakur. I thought Shakur was going to make weight against Canelo, and he didn't. I hope Devin doesn't lose his belts on the scales today.
Well, we about to find out, Scotty, in a few hours, man. So, like I said before, I'm gonna try to get down there early, and I'm gonna ask. You know me, I'm gonna ask some questions behind the scenes, and I'm gonna relay them. You know how we do it. I'm gonna relay it. Hey, but for real, my man Scotty, he know more than what he tells you guys on this channel. He knows a lot more what's going on, just like we all do. We know what's really going on with Crawford and Spence. Just a lot of baloney. And I'm talking about that cheap Walmart baloney, Trust me.
I thought Walmart had some pretty good baloney. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? Put that shit in the microwave with some cheese.
I was gonna say, slap that bitch in the pan, you know what I'm saying?
For real, put it in the pan. All bologna tastes good in the pan now. Come on,
yeah,
now.
That's right.
That shit. What? Give me your take on that Ryan Garcia going over to Errol Spence, Jamel Charlo, Derek James. I did a live on the last night, Town, and I never seen so much ass kissing after a fight where you got your ass beat, right? So now it all makes sense that he was just trying to tie it all in for this right here, to make his move over there for PBC, to position him for a potential fight with Rolly, probably. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. What's your take on it? That's for anybody on the panel.
Who want to go first? Because I want to hear what the other brothers got to say first, and then I'll, piggyback off you guys.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think I'm gonna be brief with it, but I will say, you know what I'm saying? At first, I was like, I said, man, I feel like Derek James gonna have to say paper for mentally broken fighters. I don't know how good that's gonna be for him and his stable. To go from having some pure thoroughbred monsters over there, something to that effect, to go to these dudes that are having trouble mentally and coach hopping and all that. I can't really say, but I listened to Ring IQ last night, and what they was talking about over there was that it was a problem with the guys themselves. It wasn't the trainers.
Hey Blunt, excuse me. You playing music in the background, bro?
That's my baby.
Oh, okay.
He's doing this thing. But it was the fighters. You know what I'm saying? The AJ these guys got problems within themselves. So hopefully they get themselves together, and the trainer, Derek James can do what he can. But like I said last night, I'm curious to see the improvements. It seemed like AJ was over there. He did his little time, and I didn't see too many improvements. I didn't see what I thought I was going to see when he went out there with Franklin. So I just hope that's different for Ryan.
Okay. What's your take on the Town, Gumbo?
All I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get back in the chat. Why everybody all of a sudden they went from calling Ryan a bum, now he's with Derek James. Oh, they're gonna make him. He's gonna be so great now, and that's a good fit, and I don't get it. I mean, I think I bet on Ryan. I think Ryan is just who Ryan is. I mean, and that's that, man. I don't think they're gonna make if two other trainers couldn't do nothing with him. I mean, what makes Derek do anything? I mean, it's like people went from hating Ryan to Ryan fanboys. Now it's crazy. That's my take. Derek said.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead, Tom.
okay. This is my thing. It's kind of funny. This is why I know a lot of these dudes be watching my videos. It was kind of funny. I made a video talking about, well, Ryan Garcia decides to go another direction before, he parted ways with Goosen. I mentioned Derek James as a possibility. Now, me, myself, I think he would be better suited with David Benavidez's father based off the fighting style that Ryan Garcia has, where he likes to, like, throw a lot of punches, but he isn't as disciplined as Benavidez. But, I mean, Derek James might could help Ryan Garcia with his punch placement. That's one thing I give Spence credit for. He has good punch placement, but at the end of the day, Errol doesn't have the best defense in the world. He hasn't fought that guy where his defense, or should I say lack of defense, would be exposed. I think Bud would be the dude that would expose Errol Spence's lack of defense, because he doesn't really move his head when he comes in. And if you look at some of the fights that Errol Spence has had, they put him in there with guys that they knew that he would more than likely be a heavy favorite against. This is why we really haven't got the Bud fight. We already know Bud is not going to go in there and just lay down like Danny Garcia did and Ugas did. Keep in mind, Ugas hurt Spence really bad, and Ugas isn't what you call a big puncher. Now, just imagine if Terrence Crawford landed the punches that Ugas landed against Errol Spence, and Errol Spence talking about that the reason why he fell back because he thought that his teeth came out. And I was like, you worried about your teeth, dude? You in a fight? So, I mean, at the end of the day, we going to have to see. Derek James is a good trainer, but the way some of the fanboys make him out to be like Angelo Dundee and people like that, that's kind of like where I just start to start scratching my head. But we'll see, because we'll see if this is a boxing problem or a Ryan problem, because I already said that. I told you this like a year ago, Scotty, that I thought Ryan Garcia might be the second coming of Amir Khan. And I think had that fight with Tank went on, you would have seen Ryan Garcia get brutally slept, because Tank was like probably two more punches away from making Ryan Garcia a meme. And he just you know what? All right, I'm going to just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to get up. I'm going to go out, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go out basically just taking a knee and just not getting up instead of just getting brutally slept. So we going to see, because this is what I saw in Amir Khan. Amir Khan was a solid fighter, but he wasn't a great fighter. And
he had way
Amir
better
Khan,
skills than Garcia, though.
Yeah. I think their chins might possibly be the same, to be honest with you.
I ain't saying nothing about the chins. I just said
Amir Khan was
was better.
Amir Khan could get predictable at times too, because sometimes in those combination exchanges he would stay in there too long. So we gonna see if it's, like I said, if it's, you know what I'm saying, some flaws with his technique, or it's just Ryan Garcia, because you just hear Ryan Garcia's mind is everywhere else except boxing, and sometimes you see it. I think sometimes he'd be more worried about his Instagram following than being a boxer. And I think he has to understand, do he want to be a boxing star, or do he just want to be a star? So, that's pretty much it. So we will see when he makes his debut, whoever it's going to be against, under the tutelage of Derek James. But I'm not surprised by this, because you also been hearing that he might be a promotional free agent. So why not bring him over to the PBC and put him in the ring with Rolly? He'll beat Rolly, and then that sets up a rematch with Tank. And then, they make even more money, and Tank sleeps Ryan Garcia again. So that's what I see with the plan with Ryan Garcia.
Who do you see? What if they okay, I got you. Yeah, I feel you on that. I just look at, yeah, we kind of seen this coming after the fight on why he was so attached at the hip with Javante. And you got to make moves in boxing. I don't mind him making business moves. He's able to flow as easily as he is going from trainer to trainer. But if he isn't dedicated, it's pointless for him to be making all these stops as if that one trainer is going to get him better when internally he isn't there. He isn't committed to being better. You got to be committed to going to places that you don't want to be. Just like I said about AJ Cohen going over there. If he's been with all these trainers before, but yeah, you're stubborn and there's certain things you want to do, like lift weights all the time, then it's a reason why you coming in at 255. It's a reason why your cardio sucks. You know what I'm saying? For Ryan Garcia, we've had fighters that had, suspect chins. You got to learn how to box at a distance, keep your opponent right there in front of you, and know how to move and set your combinations up better, and then know how to elude the counter shot. I mean, you have to learn how to box differently. You know what I'm saying? You have to remediate that. And if he's worried about his sponsorship or hanging out in Texas, he's going to get knocked out again, bro. Period. He's going to get stopped again. It ain't going to be by Tank.
Yeah, I agree with that. I see it. I really do see it coming again. I just see him being knocked out again. Cause like he didn't fix some of the things that we all suspected about him. And we knew it was going to happen with Tank. Listen, the smart money was on Tank. I never thought, I told you, I made several videos saying what was going to happen to Ryan Garcia if he fought Tank. And we knew Tank was, I mean, for real, did anybody think the outcome was that fight wasn't going to happen? I just thought it would. We all knew it was going to end by stoppage. I just thought Tank was going to brutally knock Ryan Garcia out. But
I was surprised he got up and from that headshot. I did. I was surprised. I was surprised he got up because even though Tank was coming from slipping underneath the that left, I was surprised with the way it landed that he got up.
And that's funny that you brought that up, Scotty, because I thought it was over with too. But then when the round ended and Ryan was walking to his corner, you could see that all his will had got taken out of him when he got up. And you knew it was like, okay, it's a matter. We know what's going to happen. We know what's coming. I thought it was going to come in the next round. So I do give him credit for basically basically stretching it out. Because I think if it would have ended in 2 rounds, it would have really been bad. People would have been feeling like they got jobbed. I already knew the outcome. So, I mean, I'm glad it lasted as long as it did, because if it had lasted 2 rounds, then people would have been feeling like me, myself, even though I didn't have nothing at stake, I would have felt like the people got jobbed. And then we would have been talking about, well, this is why the PBC made that fight, because they knew what was going to happen. So I think for boxing's sake, at least they stretched it out. Because I think Tank could have ended it earlier. I think Tank could have really ended it earlier than what he did. But I think Tank knew what was up. Because Tank already knew he had him. Tank already knew that he took Ryan Garcia's will, and Tank was just like, Tank probably was like, well, let me get some rounds in. I want it to look at least more presentable. So when, we discussing it, it won't look like, okay, we got jobbed.
You ran through him. He wasn't on your level to begin with. But you know what I'm saying? Like, people criticize Tank already for his level of opposition, quality of opposition, so to speak. But let me get to the super chat. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, AK Hot Grease, with the $20 super chat. One love to you, brother. Appreciate you always supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? And so I just look forward to tomorrow night so I can collect the rest of my money. You feel me?
Hey, Scotty, I gotta get out of here, but I'll hit you when I get to the MGM Grand.
All right, for sure, man.
All right, hey, Blunt, shout out to you too, Blunts.
Shout out to Town Business that's on the front lines out there. You know what I'm saying? Media frontliners out there in Vegas, bro. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Town Biz. He's out there in Vegas, man. Covering the fight card. He's always out there on the front line. Period. Someone mentioned about the Katie Taylor and Shantae Cameroon fight. And Cameroon is undisputed at 140 and Katie Taylor at 135. No doubt this is a good fight. This is what we wanted to see, somewhat like I said about Dmitry Bivol potentially. It'll be good if they can have that fight between Bivol and Beterbiev, and let's just say Bivol won, and then we could have had two undisputed male fighters fighting each other. One at 168 in Canelo Alvarez and one at 175. But it's not the case. But this is going to be a damn good fight, in my opinion. Go ahead, Bunch.
Yeah. That's why I brought it up yesterday in the chat, because I was like, man, it's kind of bogus that it's just everywhere you look, Twitter, YouTube, the conversation is Devin Loma, and it's like, bro, this is two undisputed chicks, like they not no sorry ass women either, like they arguably top notch chicks, and they get ready. I mean, women's boxing period, it do it for me. I mean, the Alicia Baumgardner and Michaela Mayer fight was spectacular. I was yelling at the phone, so I mean, I'm really excited to see this fight. I think Chantel might. I wouldn't be surprised if she stopped Katie, but hopefully the added weight, let's Katie put a little more thump on her shots, and I'm just curious to see how her gas tank is gonna last, because she started to fade in that Serrano fight. She was taking some heat at the end. So man, I'm real curious. I think this is gonna be one of them ones. The card is lit. Of course, you got boxes is out there, Connor's out there. It's gonna be a big event. Matchroom always put on nice events too. So I'm just real curious to see this one. And this is gonna be a great fight. Definitely be locked into that one. My money's on Chantel. Rob Katie Taylor in her first homecoming fight. One this big or this magnitude, but they could slice it and dice it up as a draw. Apparently they.
You went out, Blunt. You went out. A shout out to my guy Dion Washington, man. Shout out to you. D Young on deck. Go ahead, man. You was fading in and out. I can't hear you. Still there? I can't hear you, bro. Yeah, shout out to Dion Washington says Ryan Garcia can come fight Rolly, Isak, Frank Martin, and get a tune-up with Michelle Rivera. Yeah, you have to understand he's at 140 though. Frank Martin is still at 35, Isak is at 135, and Michelle Rivera is still at 135. So I doubt he's going to do any catch weights anytime soon at 135 or in between 35 and 40. And I don't see them fighters moving up unless it might be possible, especially for Frank Martin. Frank Martin has a muscular frame on him, so he can make 140 and still hold weight the right way. You know what I'm saying? And Rolly, of course, he's going to stay at 140. He's going to stay at 140. I don't see him coming back down here fighting 135 anytime soon, even though he seems to make weight fairly well and rehydrates really good. Isak Cruz, he's a small dude. You know what I'm saying? A short dude, but he gains weight too. So if Isak wants to make 140, cool, but he knows his prized possession is at 135 where Tank is at. He's hoping and praying that he gets another shot at Tank, and I think it's going to happen. And of course, Michelle Rivera, it is what it is. He's going to be back from that Frank Martin thrashing that he got. It happens to the best of them. It happens to the best of them. Seriously. D Young, what's good with you, bro? Debbie says Tank made sure all could make a little bit more money off Ryan and carried him. Yeah, that's part of boxing business, ain't it? Now we see everything playing out in front of our eyes. that he's going over there potentially with PBC to sign up and have sign up for multi-fights over there at PBC just to get him that first championship that he's looking for, and whatever other big money fights. If they can get 2 big money fights off Ryan Garcia, who only has 1 loss, that's prize fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's playing chess, not checkers. You know, so we're gonna stay tuned and see how all this happens. Because Al Heyman is making some moves. He's making some moves. You back Blunts or what? Because you was going in and out.
Yeah, my baby took my Bluetooth headphones while I got the wire was plugged in, messed my audio up. But yeah, man. As far as them 35 guys, yeah, Ryan's moved on, man. I think he's gonna stay at 140. And if he is, I mean, being with Derrick James, if he does go snatch that belt from Rolly, then he's gonna need some serious help, because the next opposition, the next defense, the title defense or whatever it may be, it's gonna be real. It's not gonna be no Rolly. So he gonna need to do something about them skills he got.
Well, you gotta think about it. He can fight Rolly and pick up the belt, and then they can give him a soft touch and move him just so he can keep that belt. So hopefully, you know, he continues to improve, because they looking at, okay, how do we source as much off Ryan Garcia? How do we bring in his social media value? How do we take advantage of that? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take advantage and bring Ryan Garcia potentially to the pay-per-view model and put him on the pay-per-view and start ramping up these numbers, because the way they looking at it, Blunts, is it wasn't just Tank. They looking at, okay, Tank only did these numbers before the pay-per-view, and when he fought Ryan brought these numbers. So they respect a potential, okay, they saying a potential contribution from Ryan Garcia, that his star power as a social media guy, he brought numbers to the table too with Tank. That's what they're trying to say. But if you ask people, well, should Tank be on pay-per-view moving forward? I'm not Tank, Ryan Garcia. Should he be on pay-per-view moving forward? Can he bring in the numbers enough to say 354 if he was to have a title shot with Rolly? Can him and Rolly together, a Cuban and a Mexican American or whatever, Latino American, can they do like 350, 400 with what they've been through? Because both of them have Tank as a common opponent. Can they do the numbers like that? I think that's where they're going with it. They're gonna try to benefit off those numbers that he has on IG and the numbers that him and Tank was able to occur, and see what, you know, potentially him and Rolly can do.
I agree.
It's gonna be interesting, no doubt. So I heard you talk about that bullshit the other day that the ring came out with they second date, third date, fourth date. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't give you a headache.
July 29th. I think that's the one. I think that's gonna be the one, man.
No,
don't give me no headache.
I think you bullshitting. That's what I think.
Think I'm bullshitting my belief of the date?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you just got a smile behind the screen and you're like, I want to goddamn laugh in his face, but I'm gonna act like I'm serious.
Man, nah, I think July 29th. I mean, it makes sense. You got Frank Martin on the 15th, right? Is it the 15th? Why would they put one the week after on the 22nd?
No.
Separate them by
why. Stop asking why, bro. Cause you did this last year. You said, I think it's gonna be announced July 4th. I think it's gonna be September 4th. I think it's gonna be announced. That date's gonna be solid. Oh, they fight November. I think they're gonna fight November. That's the date. Oh, well, Frank Martin fighting December. I think it. Come on, bro. How many strikes is it in b-ball, man?
Because Blue Blood had came out and said that Frank Errol was gonna fight Keith Thurman December 27th in Texas. The niggas was done with the dates. Niggas was done with the dates by November. When November didn't happen, niggas was done with the dates. Because shortly after that, we had the announcement of David and Bud. And then, don't try
to comb over it, bro. Because you was co-signing that shit.
And then Cheyenne came out with that dumbass December 27th in Texas for Errol. So we was like, He was like,
No, it wasn't no we. Why you putting them into it? Why you bringing Cheyenne? Why you bring? No, we talking about Blunt's the co-signer. You the co-signer of these dates.
Blunt's wasn't holding on no dates past November 19th. When November 19th didn't happen, I wasn't hearing nothing else. Everybody was speculating, oh, Keith Thurman gonna be in December, and then man, nah.
So you saying you didn't believe June 22nd was a possible date when they said, oh, Spectrum leaked this out. It's gonna be June 22nd. I told
when
you.
The Spectrum calendar came out, I was thinking, all right, June, we're gonna get some action. We're gonna get some action. But
there you go. There you go, dog.
I was going off of what Earl said when he was up there with Brian Custer, and I kept bringing. I got the clip still when he got up there, and he said April, May, or June, and then what he said, maybe July, right? Then he tried to throw July out there and shit. Like these dudes already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? They knew all along that car accident after the David fight or whatever, that wasn't real. These dudes know. Come on, man. It's all they know what's going on. So when he April, May, or June, and then he tried to throw the July out there, it's like they know what's going on, man. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about no August. So I'm expecting July. And I think to separate it at the end, the 29th and the 15th, Showtime having Frank on the 15th, separate that by 2 weeks. It don't make no sense to put that on the 22nd. So I got more belief in the July 29th date than I would say it's equal to what I had for the June date when the Spectrum calendar dropped. Because the Spectrum calendar didn't have no exact date, it just had the month. So I'm like, all right, June makes sense. You know what I mean? June makes sense, but my bad, baby. But yeah. I think I ain't even worried about it. Like I said, my money on it. I got bets with people that the fight is happening next. So long as it happened next, I don't care when it happened. It just need to be the next fight.
Okay.
So I can get paid.
Okay.
$200.
I know you on strike number 5, 6 or something from 2022 to 23.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see because supposedly, they was talking about this big announcement is going to be this week. I'm not believing any of that. I'm just saying whenever it happened, it happened. Shout out to True Media Today USA Boxing Coach on deck.
Coach in the building.
Keep hope alive. Shout out to Knockdown 305. I see you. Yeah. It's like one, man, come on, bro.
My hope is very much alive. I won't let it die. They tried to kill it, Coach. They tried to kill it long ago. They was like, Blunt, stop, Blunts. Leave it alone, Blunts. It ain't happening, Blunts. Go ahead, let it die, man. Let it go.
But your bat percentage is low because you striking out, dog.
Because all y'all niggas throwing my pitches, wide curve balls and shit. Y'all trying to throw my shit 200 miles per hour, man. You ain't gonna hit this one, Blunts. You might as well don't even swing, Blunts. Don't even walk up to don't even bring your bat, Blunts. It ain't happening.
So if it's let it be a ball. If it's outside the strike zone, let that shit be a ball. You don't have to swing at it.
Even if you swing, if the pitch ain't wrong, it's still a ball. If the pitch was never hittable, they're gonna make it a ball, whether you swing or not. No,
that's called a strike, brother. If you swing at a pitch that's outside the strike zone, you swing at it and miss, it's a strike.
But if you do that, you know what I'm saying? That like you about to hit it, and you
you swinging. You full range. You swinging full range through that shit. Follow through everything.
Nah, I was trying to bunt them things. I was doing slight sudden movements.
Damn. I be who I be. What's good, player? How you feeling? Let me know when the first punch lands. This has been my stance of the last 4 years. True. I agree, Dion. That's been your stance. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on, the official announcement and the first punch thrown, because sure enough, we can get the announcement, and then at the last minute, they pull a switch of opponents. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and damn make my Friday about this shit. I just brought it up because I have the repeat offender. I had to, Blunts was on here, so I know he's been swinging wildly at each fight date that's come out, and supposedly this week a fight announcement is going to be, you know what I'm saying, So
That's the rumor.
that's where
That's
I'm
what
at.
I heard on Twitter. Supposed to be coming soon, but I don't know. Things looking a little iffy.
Yeah.
I got no clue. We gonna see. I seen Bud jump roping though in the gym. This after that video, he was with all 3 trainers.
Yep.
So I don't know.
I mean, he stays active anyway, so you know how that go.
Yeah.
He stays active anyway, so we give him that much credit. Like he ain't doing nothing different. He stays active. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, man. Shout out to the GWOAT, Carissa Shields. She's about to face Hannah Gabriel in a rematch. That's gonna be a great one. In my opinion, that's gonna be a great one because Carissa said she's trying to go in there and knock her out. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the GWOAT. She said she should be she's the face of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Clarissa Shields says she the face of boxing. She's did something that no other male boxer's been able to do. You know, she's right. The amount of time she's been undisputed, 2-time gold standard Olympian, her accolades are at the highest pinnacle when you're talking about the pantheon of boxing. She is her. You know what I'm saying? She is her. She's the GWOAT, man. Gumbo say Spence look a little fat. Yeah, you know, he got some ham hock. He got some ham hock on them love handles. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna sweat it. I'm not gonna talk about the man aesthetics. All I'm gonna do is try to wait and see if he's able to take that off. Because you know, when I did that live previously, several days before, I did make it a point to put it out there about Victor Conte, you know, requesting that he sign up for VADA. I haven't heard anything back on Twitter yet. You know what I'm saying? If he signed up for VADA, because I spoke about this several times already, that he wasn't signed up for VADA. You know, people get it twisted about what it means to be signed up for VADA for a particular fight, for fight camp. Are you gonna agree to testing? Yeah, he's a WBC fighter, so he can be signed up for VADA. But are you gonna sign up to participate in the testing pool? Are you signed up to be tested? You're a WBC champion. Yeah, you signed up for VADA. Of course, it's mandatory. But are you signed up to participate in being tested as a fighter? Now, Bud has, but has Errol Spence? No. Spence haven't did it. Why? Why aren't you able to, like Floyd Mayweather was suggesting? He want Olympic style testing. Manny Pacquiao wasn't trying to do that. He said, I'm scared of needles, but he had a tattoo on him. You feel me? So I just want to put it out there, like, are we going to see, you know, these two fighters, you know, in the ring, but more so a clean fight? A clean fight, because we all know there's cutting agents out there. There's various amounts of freaking performance enhancing drugs that you can take to drop weight and get cut up and basically go through that fight camp a lot easier with the recovery and everything. 2 or 3 days. So pretty much what I'm saying, it allows you to cut corners so you won't have an entire fight camp, especially preparing for somebody like Bud Crawford. Especially somebody like Bud Crawford. That's all I'm saying. But it's been,
listen, Errol gonna be ready, all right. Like I said, they brought AJ in for the power. They got Ryan there for the speed. They got Ghost there for the southpaw look. All right, so this really all a plot twist. Okay, they bringing all these dudes in to help with all the different elements. That's why Errol need all this extra time so he can get his rounds in and work in with everybody. He practicing for fast left hooks. He practicing for extra thump. You know, AJ don't got to load up on the power. He just got to touch Errol a little something. It's gonna feel like Bud's hardest punch. You know what I'm saying?
I think Ryan was brought there to pretty much assist Errol on how he's gonna position himself on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna take a knee on the canvas or he's gonna lay on his back? I think that's why Ryan Garcia was brought into there. Real talk. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't see him helping Errol out with anything else except if he's trying to take a knee or he's gonna, be on his back on the canvas. I think he's there for, instructional purposes on how to position himself on the canvas.
They in there, look, Derek in there, like, listen, Ryan, this is what I need you to do. I need you to load that left hook as quick as you can. Because Bud's gonna be swinging that left. Because if he come on that southpaw, that's gonna be Bud's gonna be coming with that left hook, right? He's gonna be coming with them left hands. So Ryan in there swinging that left hook, Earl in there dipping and slipping and weaving and dodging. Yeah, he gonna be ready. Earl gonna be ready. He got everything you need over there to get right and get his ass.
Remember you said that. Hey, remember. Yeah. Remember he said it. He said Errol has everything he needs. He has everything he needs. Because Blunt is a Errol Spence fan. He's a fanatic for real.
Fanatic.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. He is a Errol Spence fan. Low key, when the fight happened, he's gonna be cheering for Spence. Low key.
Man, listen, man. Todd, man, it's a pleasure, man. Appreciate you having me on. Let me get to this baby, man. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, no doubt. Shout out to you and the fam, man. Hope all is well.
Salute. Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah, salute, man. It's Friday, man. Hopefully everyone have a safe weekend, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with your boy. I'm not gonna stay on here too long with this topic. I just wanted to talk on the WBC president Mauricio Suleiman and his take, his stance on not making Dmitry Bivol and Saul Canelo Alvarez fight at 168, and also why he refused to have, sanction rather Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev at 175, because he said there's a current war going on, with Russia and Ukraine, and he's not going to sanction a fight with Russian fighters, even though they have nothing to do with it. He's not going to sanction it. So he's pretty much locked in. That's the grand poobah of sanctioning bodies, and what he says goes. He's the authority. So, don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it personal. But I will be on here later. I gotta bounce. Salute to everyone. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, and like, share, sub, hit the like button on your way out, and continue to support the channel. I'm out.